Hello, everyone. My name is Aplachikov Alexander. Welcome all on Mobile Community Day. This is the first day of our big online conference, and this is the first day of dedicated the most popular platform, mobile platform in the world, Android. I'm very glad to be here in the role of moderator. My role is just simple. I will introduce talks, introduce speakers, and will handle your questions. Yes, feel free ask anything related to mobile, to talks, to speakers experience in our via community chat and our YouTube channel chat. I will monitor them and will pop them, and we will try to answer for the most interesting. Yeah, let's make these talks more interesting to wide auditorium. And before we start, let me know that everything today will be recorded and will be available after a week. I hope fast. So, and agenda of our talks is available on VR Community channel. And don't forget to stay till the end of the day. We will have a special fun extra quiz related to Android mobile development and related our talks. We prepared some presents. I will share a little bit later what presents we prepared. Yes, stay with us. And let me introduce the first talk that we have today. It's roasting now in Android. Speakers that we have today is Artem Bagritsevich and Artemy Kukharev, chief engineers with huge experience, with wide and big experience in Android. And welcome, guys. Before we start, a question for you. You work with Android for a long time, and why Android is still interesting for you?
Yeah,
It's a good question.
yeah, it's actually a great question. I wouldn't say that I'm interested only in Android because there are a lot of different areas on the market. I'm also interested in cloud technologies and maybe at the moment, but I'm still hands-on with Android. I still love this platform, and I'm still like trying to be on the same page with the latest tech. Yep.
Yeah, for me, I could say that I don't know how many years I am right now developing for Android, but a long time passes and Android is still figuring out how to do a good architecture. This is still a problem, and there is a lot of discussions related to the architecture, to the stuff, because Android is changing every day. We are getting new libraries for new features, doing something in a different way. Google introduces new features for every new version of Android, doing things in a different way completely. Like, for example, Android 14 will introduce interesting things. So yeah, maybe that's why Android is actually evolving into something more beautiful.
Yeah, like the evolution of Android is the most exciting and interesting thing, and it's very challenging for many projects to keep up new challenges, keep up new updates in Android. Okay, guys, the stage is yours. Yeah, please share your presentation with us and tell
Yeah.
us what's now in Android.
Okay. Thank you. And actually, it is our presentation. We're very excited. We're very happy, and it's a big honor for us to be a conference opener. And also, it's a bit hard, because it's a question of expectations. But today we're roasting now in Android. Probably you heard about this Google project. If you're Android developer, you actually heard, because when you're opening developer.android.com, then you see all these links to this repository, to this project, to a series of articles. But today we're here to roast this application, and I'd like to begin with who we are. We're chief software engineers from EPAM Systems, working with Android for a very long time. And as we're chiefs, we're eligible to roast, to boil, and cook in any other ways, different applications, even invent new recipes and share them with you. Hey, Artemi, would you like to add something?
No, I think this is a good introduction. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, and today we have on the plate now an Android. And according to what we have on the Google website, developerandroid.com, which is the main like documentation portal we use, now in Android is fully functional Android application built with Kotlin and Jetpack Compose. It models Android design and development best practices and was designed to be a useful reference for the developers. You know, and it triggers me a bit because they are presenting this project as something unique, as something useful, and
something that you need to reference to.
yes, as a best practice. And if you telling that your project is best practice or maybe silver bullet for them, then you should believe in it, and you should be 100% sure that your project is really great.
Yeah,
And
I would like to add
yeah.
also that if you're developing a silver bullet, you should be prepared for roasting like this.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, and we decided to take a look at this project because this project is widely used by different developers. From time to time, I'm reading articles and I see that, wow, this guy took this now an Android project to like make some benchmarking. Recently, I found article regarding K2 compiler. Someone took this project to test how K2 compiler will impact the performance, like of and the build time and so on. And actually, when we're opening the GitHub, we see that this project is extremely popular. It's one of the top Android repositories. It has more than 20k stars on the GitHub. Is a huge number for Git repository. It has 1.9k forks. Can you imagine almost 2k forks? So people are using it, people trying to play with this project. Maybe they're using it as a template for personal projects and so on. And this project is still like supported. Probably it's in maintenance state. Last release was 2 or 3 weeks ago. And also we can see that 99% of this project is in Kotlin. And as Android developer, I'm happy beyond measure that I can use my favorite programming language almost everywhere, because 99 means that Gradle scripts will be in Kotlin, everything in Kotlin except probably some configuration files, bash scripts, and so on. Okay, but also we can go a little bit deeper to this project and review the following statistics. It is almost 2 years of development. It's quite a big time. This project consists of 1,600 commits in main branch. It's a huge amount, 92 branches, 84 contributors on the GitHub. So 84 developers made some changes to this project. And at the moment, we have 70 open issues and 167 closed. And of course, there were a lot of pull requests, and we still have 38 open. And also, this application has 27 modules. How did I like know it? I just opened settings, Gradle file, and it took some time to count all the modules in the application. So 27. Here at this stage, I just want you to take a look at these numbers and try to analyze all these numbers once again. 2 years of development, almost 1,600 commits in the main branch, and 27 modules. And yeah, it's a huge job. So these guys worked really hard, and this application has only 3 screens, you know. And now knowing this and like understanding correlation between three-screen application and all these numbers we had on the previous slide. For me, it's a little bit strange, that for 2 years, some huge group of people, 84 developers, that they've been developing this application with 3 screens. Okay, maybe not 3. These screenshots from previous version, now they added also search, and we have settings, but it's not screen, it's dialog. So, but anyway, yeah, for me it looks ridiculous, because I cannot imagine how it could look like, and that's why we should open this application and start code review. And I think we're all ready. So welcome to hell. Maybe not to hell, but let's see. So here we have now an Android application opened. As I told, it has 3 screens with a list of articles. Yeah, actually, its list of articles is just recommends you something based on the filters. You can click on the button here, and it will be saved, added to saved. We can remove it from here. And also we have interests page where you can control this filter. We can add accessibility to interest, Android Auto, and so on. Also, this application is not 100% ready from the UI perspective, because as you can see, padding and margins here probably a little bit missed. Also, during the review, we found that when you go into the dark mode and trying to search for something, here you will see dark text on dark background, and there are a lot of different minor UI things, and not even minor, related to animations, related to user experience. For example, when I'm opening this screen and trying to scroll up, you can see that back button just scrolls up. Yeah. It's funny behavior. I didn't expect this. Yeah, of course they have theming.
The paddings for back button are different on different screens, so that top bar is jumping a bit when you enter in search, for example, and stuff like that. So if we will talk,
actually they're replacing toolbar, as we
and as you can see, the animation is broken completely.
Yeah, no transition.
Yeah, so there is view transitions that should be used here, but they didn't use. Moreover, you could open the settings and, for example, try to hold on the OK button or any link, and you will see that there is no changes, but in the list there are changes. Oh, it's working.
Oh,
right
actually,
now.
Here it's working. Yeah, I swear, guys, we tested it on
the different version of this app, which I installed yesterday. It was not working, so I believe it's broken a bit already, or maybe some Android-specific version issues. For example,
Maybe.
I used Android 13, and in Android 13, ripple effect behaves differently. So something like that.
Yeah, probably on this device it works. Actually, it's not a big issue, but let's review the code, because at the moment we reviewed the application, but we had an idea. Maybe it's a good idea to take some functionality and implement it or change in this application. And we've been discussing how to make code review, and maybe it's a good option to add new dark mode preference, something like
maybe theme,
not dark. Yeah, or maybe theme, not default, not Android, but something something different. Maybe yellow to the color of our conference. Maybe it will be great. Okay, so
yeah. So let me add a few more points here. So of course we already reviewed the code previously a bit. Yeah, And I would say that I'm not sure that we can promise that we will be able to implement any part of functionality in this app in a short period of time, but we will try and we'll see where it gets.
Yeah, at least we have huge experience with Android, and I believe that it could help us a bit. Okay, actually, when I first time opened this application, I was a bit scared, and I'm still not very comfortable with what we see right here, because this application has 27 modules for these 3 screens, and it's strange for me. So as we're working with themes and with settings, we started from settings screen, so probably we should open settings feature. They have special feature set of modules, and we can see settings here. Okay, and probably settings view model and settings dialog is what we need. Here, let's begin with it. In dialog, we need.
So the dialog is not a fragment in any sense, it's just composable.
Yes, yes, it's composable. Okay, modifier, radio button. Selected. Text. Theme chooser row.
Theme choose. So they are adding a row. Okay, so this function probably is a row with which generates the radio button, the spacer, and the text. So we need to use this function to add additional view. Let's check where it's called.
Okay.
Okay,
let's huge amount.
Let's open the first
probably
one. Okay.
Settings panel. Yeah, probably looks like
let's
this.
Just add here something additional.
Default Android. Okay, let's try to add something like this. But settings brand will not be Android. Probably we need to add new brand here. Theme brand, default Android, and okay, yellow. I think it will work. Okay, let's get back to our dialog. It will be yellow. And oh, probably we should import it. Yeah. And our brand is imported and yellow. See, something didn't work.
Yeah,
now it works.
It feels like it's working right now, but it still generate.
Oh, it shouldn't be brand Android. It should be new string. So let's add new string, brand yellow.
Okay. And right now it's
yellow. Okay. Okay. So by row string resource selected, brand yellow, change theme yellow.
It's rendering previews right now.
Yeah, it's loading. Rendering 2 of 2. Okay,
and
some issue.
Out of date.
The preview is out of date.
Okay,
I'm not a big expert of Compose, actually. Sorry?
Let's maybe try to build it. I believe this is not something related to Compose. This is something related to all additional logic that this application performs. From Compose point of view, we did it fine.
Yeah, maybe we had. Yeah, yellow
maybe
is correct.
Somewhere else something additional should be declared. Let's see what build will tell us. And you could see how much time it takes to build this app. We changed only one composable. Okay. Okay, we
yeah,
got
sure.
somewhere. Okay. So right now we are in data source. We just wanted to add a radio button, and right now
Oh,
we are
what
in
is it?
data source. Let's think a bit about this. So we wanted to add a radio button to the view, and right now we are in completely different model, modifying data source just to make this compile. So I would say that here we have a Kotlin example.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
and
agree.
we are getting some other interesting things. So we could see here theme brand Proto.
Yeah, and this proto doesn't look promising for me,
Promising.
actually.
Yeah. Let's
Okay,
open the Proto.
yeah, let's open the proto. Just in case if you don't know what proto means, it's Google Protobuf protocol, and it widely used to generate like classes based on different, based on the template, let's say, special format called proto
Yeah,
files.
so the idea of Protobuf, generally, if you have applications developed in different languages and you would like them to exchange the data in some way, you're using protocol buffers and writing the POJO logic or like data class logic only once and compile this for every language you want. So more often it's used in gRPC communication.
Yeah, I used it a
So we
couple of
need to
times for
edit a
gRPC.
proto file
Yeah.
somewhere.
Okay, so actually in this proto file we have brand unspecified, default, Android, unrecognized. Okay, I have a good idea to open the location, and we're in data store. So in data store we should be able to find proto files. Here they are. Dark theme, theme brand
Theme brand,
proto.
I
So
believe this
we
is
need this one. Okay, so let's add theme brand yellow, and it will be 3. Yeah,
And let's make the project. Let's hope that it will build proto file for us.
hope so. No, what's wrong? Okay, we should. But okay, I will just reuse
We have
Android.
yellow.
We have yellow at the moment. Oh, great. I will add it here just to keep readability.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let's try to compile again.
Now we have set theme. Okay, when expression, another when expression. This time, if theme brand, unspecified, unrecognized, default.
So when expression should contain, okay, so we want to map yellow to the theme brand of the app. So here in the data source, we are mapping protocol buffers to the actual application enums.
Yes, vice versa, actually. Okay, brand yellow. So doing vice versa. Actually, it's a bit strange why they decided to use protocol buffers on this layer, because it looks like some data store for settings. As you can see, they also have user preferences protofile.
Let's
So
open this.
probably, yeah, they're using protofile files for storing user preferences, topic change list.
May I add a
follow
remark
topic.
here?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead, please.
So for storing user preferences, Android has well-known shared preferences API. And in shared preference API, you're just declaring the key and reading the value in any format you want. If you would like to add additional preference, additional key, you will just like add it and use it, and it will not take for you any additional steps. But when we're talking about gRPC, protocol buffers here. For me, it's almost the same because mostly it's used in gRPC. So when we are talking about protocol buffers, I assume that they are storing the data on the disk, encoding it with protocol buffers, and then reading back. The problem is that you will need to have a migration mechanism to maintain different versions of these protocol buffers. So let's think a bit. Would you like to have to write migrations for your user settings when you add in additional setting or removing something? Let's scroll a bit up in this file. Let's see. You could see in message user preferences, number 2 is reserved. Why? Because something was here and right now is not present. Let's scroll a bit down at the command at the end. Next available ID 21. But as you can see, the last ID that they used is 19. Most probably because they used something previously on ID 20 and right now removed it and cannot use it anymore. This is a point. Imagine you would like to keep in mind in command in the protofile the magic number that you will need to always increase and manage this hell of reserved items just to store user preferences if you would like to avoid migration. And most probably that is not the only thing that you will need to do to actually maintain this preferences scheme. So this is, from my point of view, a bad architectural decision. This is an example of bad architecture decision. You should never use protocol buffers for storing data, schema of which could always change, and it's intended to be changed. Protocol buffers is for declaring a schema and using it. Think of them
and
like
probably sharing it. Yeah, probably sharing it between
and probably
applications.
sharing it. This is the most important point. Protocol buffers are used for sharing the schema between different applications. So right now we are not sharing it first, and the second is that it's a schema. Key value store does not have a schema. Shared preferences is for key value store. If you are using preferences like user preferences, you are using the database-like approach called key value store. And protocol buffer has strong schema. Think of it as of SQLite, for example. Do you imagine to store in the SQLite your shared preference data? It would be poor decision, agree. So usage of protocol buffers for this point is like really bad practice and bad design.
Yeah, I agree. Also, protocol buffers should be generated, and as you can see, I should make the project to regenerate all these classes. And unfortunately, you have to use special serializers, and in runtime, it will parse, it will write, and blah blah blah. The same way.
Yeah,
as
and
it works.
it's serializer of serializer, you know. So let's take a close look to this. You're writing serializer for using serializer of protocol buffers, which is generated. So serializer on top of the serializer to write to user store like shared preferences.
Like shared preferences, yeah. Exactly, and they could use even secure shared preferences.
And the idea is that shared preferences are doing this thing way better than this. I don't know, solution. Let's call it a solution. Okay,
Solution,
let's
yeah.
continue. So
Okay.
can we build application right now or not?
Let's check. We can even run it right now, probably, because I didn't see issues previous
It's still
time.
building.
Yeah, build time is like quite long. And you know, guys, build time is quite long, not just because some protocol buffers, but also because of huge amount of modules, huge
Okay,
amount
still
of
not building. Let's check another one.
manifests. Yeah, another one.
Let's
Yeah,
talk about single responsibility for a while, guys. Okay, should use Android theme.
oh my god.
Okay, so we probably will need to remove this method, and we will need to check the logic. Okay, it's a composable with
Okay,
UI state.
State. Okay. Should use Android.
And it returns
False.
Boolean. Where it
True.
used?
Let's check. Only one place here. Android
Okay.
theme.
We need should use Android theme. Let's return false there because we don't want to use Android theme for yellow.
Yeah. Okay. Default and theme brand yellow. Probably we can return false.
Mhm.
What else? Maybe we had something. No. Let's try to rebuild again.
Let's talk a
By
bit
the way,
about responsibility. How many places right now this is used, and how much time? How many ideas? How many things you need to think of when you are modifying, for example, main activity? For how much things main activity is responsible here? Why the main activity? Why not a different composable? Okay, it's built in.
yeah,
And launch.
it's actually running, and
it's not rendering the UI.
yeah. Oh,
Okay.
it's rendering something. Okay, and let me open. Oh, it's like okay. We have yellow. Probably we spent like 10
Let's
or
not switch
maybe
to yellow for now.
Yeah,
Because it probably will cause
some crash. But
yeah, let's try.
Let's try.
Okay. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
It's fine.
Okay, but nothing changes. Yeah, it's fine. But if Android is still working, yeah, it's working.
Okay, so
Okay.
it thinks like when we are selecting default right now, I believe, because they are doing theme change in this should use Android method.
Sorry, did you ask me to do something?
No. Let's at this point, let's just copy this method should use Android, should use yellow, write the method should use yellow.
Should use Android theme. You want to create the same composable? Should use
Yes.
yellow instead? Should use Android?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go this way. By the way, copy pasting is very bad practice. Don't follow it. Okay, we have UI state. We have.
Okay, we should return in yellow true and in
yellow.
Android false.
In Android and default, we should return
Yes.
false. Okay.
Let's replay the false because right now we're returning true there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. And let's navigate where we are using should use Android theme.
Android theme here. Android theme, it's inside near theme. So probably we should
let's duplicate
modify
this
it.
line Android theme and add additional yellow.
Okay, let's go
Back to the main activity.
here. Okay, and
Okay, let's open Nia theme. I believe right now there's something that is used here
okay. Oh,
for
got
drawing the colors.
yellow theme. Where is Android theme is used here? Oh,
Oh,
there are actually a lot of different places. Okay. Wow. I
if
had
else when if else when
yes.
in a lot of places. There is no thing in this project that is responsible for all strategy of building the theme. So you need to replace and modify a lot of whens in a lot of places, like even in main activity, to add support of a new theme. So this architecture, at least from the theming functionality, is not extendable.
Yeah,
You need to
as you can
modify
see,
everywhere. There is no single point of truth for this. Everything is responsible for theme. Okay.
yeah, by the way, this solution with Android theme and yellow theme is also not a good practice and using of Boolean
Of course.
variable. It is just temporary solution as we're trying at least to implement something. Okay,
Yeah.
color scheme for Android theme.
If we would like to implement this feature in real life, we probably will refactor half of this stuff, because
Yes,
like
yes.
whens and these Boolean flags. Okay, so if Android theme.
Okay, they're just returning color scheme, dark Android color scheme or light Android color scheme if Android theme should be used. So let's review how this class looks like. Okay, it's just dark color scheme with huge amount of different colors. And actually, for our case, we should do the same, but replace all the palette with yellow,
With yellow, for
yellowish
example.
colors. Yeah, so probably. Oh, and we're still inside theme class, so this class is quite a big. Okay, we can try to
But at least it, I
create.
believe, fits single responsibility principle. If you would
Yeah.
like to change something about theme, you are going to the theme class. But the problem is that you are going to the like 8 or 9 another classes. So this is an issue, and modifying main activity. So let's add a light theme or like dark, and we will use it for any color scheme just for demonstration purposes.
Let's call it and a yellow color scheme, dark yellow color scheme. And also we will need light yellow color scheme, probably.
Probably, yeah. But for now, we can just return everywhere dark yellow color scheme. So
Okay.
can you
Okay,
navigate to colors?
Color yellow to colors like this.
Okay.
It's a huge hard-coded palette. So I don't want to like select different yellow colors here. So let's just use some constant like color yellow. Primary on primary shouldn't not be yellow because we'll have the same primary container. Do we have some other variation of yellow? No. So we have, okay, primary color is yellow. Let's also have secondary color is yellow. I know that we will have some strange theme, but at least for testing, secondary no, secondary. Okay, and
Yeah, it's fine.
color
It will
accent.
be visible, I believe.
Mhm. Okay, it should be visible. Okay, dark yellow color scheme. So we're turning back to the
To the theme.
to the theme.
Yeah, let's scroll a bit
Yeah.
down a bit.
So
Or Nia color, Nia theme or something like that.
okay. Oh, gradient colors. They also have. Interesting. Nia
Yes.
theme. Here's it. Android theme. So when yellow theme, actually, we should return our dark yellow color scheme at the moment,
Mhm.
as we are not using dark theme right now. So
Let's
color
reload this.
scheme. At least color scheme. I know that there are a lot of different stuff here, a lot of background, tints, and so on, but let's stop at the moment. Probably it should.
Mhm.
We're still waiting. By the way, it's not a like cold build. We've already built this application for a couple of time, and we didn't change a lot of. We're actually working inside the module.
Yeah, we have the question, isn't the app is too laggy, or this is due to the debug version? No, it's not due to the debug version. The application is laggy. But it's
Yeah,
working fine on the modern Pixel devices, so probably this application is built for modern Pixel devices. Artem, what laptop do you have?
I have MacBook Pro with the i9 processor.
Okay, so right now you are using i9 processor, yeah?
Yep.
And
But
all you just opened is Android Studio. Okay.
yes, I closed everything except like StreamYard, where recording this, and Android Studio. And yeah, maybe it's problem of emulator because oh no, it's too laggy. I don't know why.
No. I believe you are using the right version of emulator architecture. Otherwise, it would launch like for minutes, just for launch an emulator. So no, it's not a problem of emulator. Meanwhile, build is still running.
Oh, it's launching. Yeah, great. Did we have crash or no? Probably previous application was closed. Install successfully finished. Oh, and it's launching right now. Yeah.
By the way, nice logo they have.
Yeah,
Okay.
they have really nice identity. They have great documentation. So there are a lot of good things regarding this project, but in general, it's it's not that good that they are like proposing it. Okay, let's wait a bit, or maybe let's try to change our theme to yellow. Okay, yeah, as you can see, everything changed. We're still a little bit green because I used green theme as a like
As a base,
clone.
yeah.
To clone. Okay, we did what we had, but during this small journey, we found huge
Let's maybe
classes,
open a
a lot of wens.
commit window like Command K and just see how many files we changed. Okay, and let's review them.
Mhm. Okay, let's review main activity. By the way, we can have a div.
Yes.
So main activity.
Okay,
As
so
you can
is there
see,
any purpose of having this stuff in main activity? It's a
Mm,
rhetorical question, of course
should
not.
use yellow? Of course not. I would say it's completely logical stuff. Yeah. On main activity, you should have maybe only some changes in UI, but again, we had special feature model,
Yeah,
so it's
this is
strange.
definitely, we have special feature model and we are deciding should we use theme or not in main activity. So definitely not. Going next, data source. So
Data source, yeah.
in the ideal world, when we are adding a enum value, should we modify the schema of data source, and should we even have the schema for this data source for the like switches? Yes, no switches. Of course not. This is not something that should be modified due to this, and nor in the when causes. So we should not use when there like this, and we should not we should delegate it some way to a single point of information. Let's talk about
Yeah.
dialog. Okay, this is the only
Yeah, probably
way-
this is the only one, change. I'm totally fine because we're just adding new row, new button here. We
Mhm.
had to edit.
Let's go to the resources.
Strings, okay.
Yeah, this is fine.
Themes.
This is probably the second place where it's fine to modify stuff. We
Yeah,
would
but
like to
not with, not in this way, probably not with yellow theme
With-
function. And this architecture is not flexible here. They had to use some common function with which will do this mapping, which will help to do this mapping, not just using Boolean variable.
This is a flag oriented architecture. This is
Flag
really bad.
oriented.
Yeah, the problem of flags is actually like when we are talking about composables. Let's talk a bit about using flags. So we are talking about Jetpack Compose. The Jetpack Compose is declarative approach of doing UI. So when we are talking about declarative approaches, we are thinking about UI not as objects, but more as a functions. So functional oriented stuff and all functional oriented programming principles here is applied. And when we are talking about flags, we are multiplying state. So we all know that having less state is better. Even, and it's exceptionally true for the functional oriented architecture. So we're using compose, so we need to write it in functional way, and we are multiplying state every time when we introduce an additional flex, which is bad. So that's the reason why this architecture is a garbage for this particular function.
Okay, let's go to another interesting moment. I didn't expect to find protofiles here in this project, especially here on this layer where we're just storing the data to the disk, because protofiles, I used protofiles only twice in my experience. First time for gRPC, and second time to share same data models between several platforms like JavaScript, iOS, and Android. And on every of these platforms, we had to have specific and the same classes, same data structures. And
both cases actually valid usage of protobuf.
Yeah, but not this one. This I cannot explain. How to explain why they decided to add protobuf here? Yeah. Okay, go ahead, please.
They decided to use protobuf here because they wanted to. It does not make any architectural sense here to use protobuf, but they wanted to use it and they use it.
Yeah, maybe. It's Google's technology, So they wanted to. And regarding this application, they used probably all Google libraries, all Google set of technologies. And actually, this project could be fun to review and maybe even a little bit useful if you want to look at different libraries from Google. But we all know that Google sometimes deprecate their libraries. We have a lot of them in the past.
How much
So-
time do we have left, actually?
Unfortunately, we have no much time. Maybe
Okay.
a few
Yeah.
minutes, maybe we can sum up.
Yeah,
Without-
actually, guys, let's sum up a bit, and from this hell, just maybe 3 slides. Go ahead, Artemi.
Okay, so the first of important point about this application that is breaking behavioral guidelines. So it requests notification permissions on the first launch, and this is a bad practice since dangerous permissions should be requested after user's action. Second, it has bad theming and accessibility. We demonstrated this. So from user's perspective, this app still feels raw after 2 years of development and 160 commits for 3 screens. Keep it simple principle. Model in model for building models. We actually have here a build logic model which describes how to build models. And KISS is one of the major programming principles. Breaking it is even more dangerous than breaking solid. App with 3 screens will never require own build convention plugins. Dividing core model into 12 AAR libraries is a misuse of library abstraction since none of those libraries will ever be excluded from the final build. So from the project perspective, this app is way too complex.
Yeah, especially for 3-screen app. Yeah, and here,
Third but not least, they are making bad architectural decisions. Protobuf for storing KVP preferences is a terrible idea since you will need to implement migrations, as we discussed. Why not shared preferences? This app is made for doing things in exotic way by enthusiasts who wanted to try cool stuff. Technology choices are poor even in the simplest things. So to cut a long story short, this app should not be considered as an architectural advice in any way.
Yeah, and I agree. And also, I'd like to add that this application also contains a lot of interesting solutions. For example, they are calling and using repositories from the UI layer, and it's debatable. It's a holy war topic, but I wouldn't do this in my architecture. And they're talking about Google that they are following Google's standards of architecture, but it's not, because if you will review Google's version and their version, it a little bit different. And we actually have questions even for Google's version of architecture, but it's another topic for another conference probably. And at the moment, we wanted to focus only on some really, really bad things, but not something like holy war questions. And that's it for today. Thank you so much.
Yeah, somebody
Thank
asked,
you, guys.
Volodya Leskev is
Yeah,
asking us
let
for-
me moderate it for you. Yeah, Volodya asked about isn't API. Let me pause this. Isn't API too laggy on this due to debug version? Yeah, you probably answered it. Do you see the question?
Actually, we're happy to.
Yeah, we answered this, Jiren.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have another question on our VR community chat. But first of all, many thanks for delivering such an insightful live coding session and presentation. For myself, I noted that even chief engineers copy paste code sometimes. Yeah, it was really challenging to build this up, but yeah, it was really interesting. So we have a question, not related maybe to talk, but Alexander Lysenko is asking, I would like to use a chance to ask chief engineers about opinion on what benchmarking methods we can use to measure benefits, disadvantages, performance optimizations, and etc. When we are planning the migration to another tools, frameworks, and libraries. Can you suggest some advice here?
benchmarks? Actually, it's a good question. So, because this project has a lot of different stuff. For example, they are using their own, not their own, but let me go to the how to close this. Probably not from here.
Just
Git
command 1, I believe, will open the project view.
Command 1. Oh, great. Thank you. I didn't use it for quite a while. I wanted to show you, for example, UI performance stuff they're using. For example, this Jank stats module. Actually, I wanted to ask you guys, who of you used this Jank stats module? It provides a frame listener to make some performance testing. And actually, I used to know about it only from here, but these Jank stats, it's a part of probably, yeah, Android X metrics. Yeah. And there are a lot of different tools we could never hear about. Maybe it's also some lack of information from Google side, or maybe I missed it for somehow. But Artemy also told that he didn't see these Jank stats previously, and yeah, probably from benchmark perspective, they're using something here. They have benchmarks here, UI Automator, etc., etc. Yeah,
Okay.
actually,
in general, what I see, we can find good benchmarks here in this project. Unfortunately, guys, we have no time because we stick to our agenda. Yeah, thank you, guys, again. I see many questions in our VR chat community from Korenovsky Dmitry. Dmitry, we will try to ask your questions. They're related to iOS. We will try to ask it after the talk. I invite you, Artemy and Artem, to ask on this question. And we proceed with a short break. And after a short break, we will have another interesting speaker and talk dedicated to AI tools for mobile developers. Please don't switch channels. Yes, stay with us and see you soon.